Welcome everyone to MoneyMasters, Toastmasters. How's everyone today?
Great. How are you?
Hey, glad to be alive.
Yeah.
The sun is shining in Vancouver. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. I'd like for you to help me bring up our chair today, Liz Coleman. Liz Coleman.
Thank you, Sergeant of Arms Kareem. And good morning, good afternoon, fellow Money Master Toastmasters. We talked about it not too long ago about saying our name a little more often because I don't know where was it. It was one of the competitions where I think it was Paul or somebody's. What's my group name? So I thought, maybe we need to talk about it a bit more. So
It never hurts.
welcome to Money. You're always teaching us, right? We have to mention it more. Welcome to Money Master Toastmasters. Today our theme, I am the chairperson, and today the theme is Inside Out. And I'll be talking about some other technical issues, but the reason I picked Inside Out was the movie. I don't know, has anyone seen the movie Inside Out or the animation? You haven't seen it? Okay, when I found, I'm a counselor, right? Okay, there's way too much talking going on. I should be talking. You know what? I'm happy you guys are into it and everything, so scratch that. But I'm a counselor, so when I first, thank you. I'm already at time? How does that work? Oh, you know what? I'm going to take extra time. I do want to talk a little bit more. Okay, excellent.
About 2 minutes are up.
Okay. I'm a counselor. Of course, I deal with emotions and things. So when I saw that it was about taking the inside, what goes on in our head and our emotions, and showing it, letting it out to the outside. So there's two parts of us. There's the outside, what we show, but as Toastmasters, I think all of us know, there's that inside, what's going on in here. And you often know what's going on in your head, but you can see other people going, what is going on in their head? And so they choose 5 emotions: joy, fear, sadness, disgust, and anger. And they portray those. Of course, there's more. I think love was the biggest one that was missing, but that's just my thoughts. So Inside Out I thought was good because that's what we do here. We all have that, and emotions are so important. We often don't talk about them. We think that they're bad and they're out of control. They are important. They're a message. We don't need to act on them or hold on to them, but use what the message is. I want to get to some technical details, and I will. That was a long. Okay, the grammarian hasn't started, or the counter hasn't started yet.
Yes, we have.
No. First off, I want to make sure that everybody, especially the people doing the speeches, but everyone has brought their manuals. And if you're doing a speech, you should be giving your manual to the person that's evaluating you, so that they can write out their evaluation on there and give it back to you. And that goes towards getting awards and progression in Toastmasters. And it's important to do. It gives you feedback whether you are progressing on or planning on it or not. The other thing is Easy Speak. So Easy Speak is what we use to create the agenda. And if you look at the agenda, you'll notice that after some of the names, there's a question mark. So what that means is someone was chosen for the role, but they haven't agreed to it. So you can go in and say, I'm attending, but if you're not agreeing to the role, it comes up like a question mark. And I contacted, as a chairperson, it's my duty, the chairperson's duty, to contact whoever is the roles for the day to make sure that they're going to be there and that they have everything they need and all is okay. So I go in and I look to see the question marks. So I talked to Karen, I talked to Paul. I didn't talk to Kareem. I should have, because it was a last minute thing. And Simone. So if you're having problems getting in, if there's a reason why you're not on there, please let April or Sua or someone know, and then we can help you. The one thing that we want to do is solidify why we're here and what we're doing. It's not just for giving speeches, but we're committing to each other, to the group. And not like a commitment like, I give you all my time, but a commitment to being a part of the group, because we're all so important, as we know. Sue was just saying, a lot of times we show up, especially because we have a speech, but maybe we aren't quite sure if we're evaluating, oh, maybe it's not that important, but we know when we're giving our speech how important it is to have that evaluation. So on the back of the members, the application form, there's a Toastmasters promise, and it's something that I want to learn a bit better, and we all want to not enforce, that sounds harsh. Reiterate and support each other with. So I'm just going to read it over. As a member of Toastmasters International, my club, I promise to attend club meetings regularly, to prepare all of my speech and leadership projects to the best of my ability, basing them on projects in the confident communication and all the different manuals, to prepare for and fulfill meeting assignments, to provide fellow members with helpful, constructive evaluations, to help the club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for all members to learn and grow. Let me re-say that. To help the club maintain the positive, to help grow, not interrupt. I think that was in there. Not interrupt. I'm putting that in there now. To serve my club as an officer when called upon to do so, to treat my fellow club members and our guests with respect and courtesy, to bring guests to club meetings so they can see the benefits Toastmasters membership offers, to adhere to the guidelines and rules for all Toastmasters education and recognition programs, and to maintain honest and highly ethical standards during the conduct of all Toastmasters activities. Paul.
Highly ethical.
What's it that you said earlier? So even that can do with language and how we conduct ourselves. So this is something that I want to learn. I want us to pass on to new members. That it's serious. We have a commitment here.
Yes.
Let's get on with it. First off, let's get this rolling. I would like to invite Kareem up as the inspirator.
Madam Chair, fellow Toastmasters, the theme art today is Inside Out. And I want to ask a question that I ask myself often. So what makes you feel the most alive?
When I wake up.
What makes you feel the most alive? For me, when I'm stepping out of my comfort zone, when I'm meeting new people, when I step out and go across the room or across the hall or meet somebody new and say hi to them and make someone's day, make someone happy, make them smile. If I smile at someone and they smile back at me, I've made a difference in someone's life. We don't know what they're going through. So often, I find for me, my eyes are on myself, focused like my problems, my issues. But there's so many people that need a good word of encouragement and a smile. But I want to encourage us in this and encourage myself. Our dream is outside of our comfort zone. Whatever our dream is, it's outside of our comfort zone. Just like here in Toastmasters, we're getting out of our comfort zone here. That's how we grow. That's how we grow. We stretch, right? But when you get to the edge of your comfort zone, there's something called the wall of fear. And you're gonna hit it every time. A lot of people retreat. They go back to their TVs or whatever it is, their comforts. But if you keep your eyes on the dream, the wall of fear isn't as big. And that will help you, push you, encourage you to go past the wall of fear and enter. Begin towards your dream, whatever your dream is. It's time. It's time.
This is a verb, so these are some of the examples. Old carpets that have never been shampooed, they can exude quite pungent odors. This one I like. Parisian women exude a faultless, sultry sex appeal that is unmistakable. Sorry,
Faultless, sultry sex appeal. Wow.
All right, so I encourage all members to use the word exude for today. And my second role for today is to comment on the use of the English language throughout the course of the meeting. So any awkward or wonderful use of words, or creative or vivid language usage, or any kind of word usage that might not be.
Thank you, April. And I also wanted to say, I forgot, Amit is filming, I believe, for today. I'll let him maybe explain a little bit of what he's doing.
Yes, my name is Amit Garg, and my role today, I will be the table topics master. So that's.
Oh, actually, I wanted to, just because we don't usually have filming, so I just wanted everybody to know what's happening,
Oh,
what you're
okay.
doing.
Oh yeah, so what I'm doing basically is just filming the speakers, and there's some sound here as well. Just trying to improve the quality of the picture and the sound so that it's more pleasant viewing. And I'll try to do some edits when I get home and put it together if you guys would like
Cool.
to have a copy so you can see how you do the presentations.
Yeah. Awesome.
It might help us to do that. So
Yeah, we can put it on the meetup.
Put it on our meetup.
Yeah.
if there's a facility for
Yes.
to do that, we can do that. No
Just
problem.
email to me and I'll
Yeah,
set up.
yeah.
That's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Amit.
Yeah. So just don't mind me. Sometimes I have to make adjustments.
Yeah.
I'll be.
Just give me the YouTube link and away
Yeah.
you go.
Great. Thank you. So it's win-win.
Yeah.
Amit gets to practice his
Yes, yes.
videoing,
We all win.
editing. Videoing? That's not a word? Come on. Aren't I exuding confidence? Come on. Next, we have the timer. Our guest has stepped up to become the timer. Manny, please let us know what you will be doing.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and good afternoon, everybody else. My name's Manny, and I will be the timer. I'm a guest, but I am looking forward to joining soon. I've got the membership form here, but I've still got to read through this members' agreement and release first.
Yes. I'll have to write on there, no
Timer,
interrupting.
yeah. But my responsibility today is to time everyone's speech and the evaluator table topics, and then provide a report at the end of our session. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Stepping up, even a simple role, timer, well, because we've been here a long time, depending on how long you've been here, it can seem like a simple role, but I remember my first one, and speaking about the inside out, the voice is going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, am I doing this right? You know, all of that going on inside, but on the outside, I'm okay. We have gone, oh, and our counter. Let's.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Chair, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guest. My role is an counter. I'll listen to your speech carefully, and I'll be looking for filler words, such as or double words that have been used during the speech, and I'll give a report at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Nima. Very good use of the protocol. And next. Okay, Karen, what is going on in your head now? Come to the speeches, and my favorite, I love, of course, all of the speeches are always interesting. People are bringing themselves. But the icebreaker, we get to really hear and get introduced to who this person is that's coming here and getting to know them. And I love this one because people are talking about themselves. Help me introduce Karen. Oh, what, did you come up with a name?
Oh, my life in 6 minutes or less.
My life in 6 minutes or less.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Toastmasters, and guests. I hope everybody's fine today on this crisp, beautiful day in Surrey. I love clear days. They get me motivated and kicked off to a great start. It's not always that way, though. So I hope today that I can exude some confidence and non-nervousness that I really am feeling right now. So I was born in Surrey, actually a true Surreyite, right here in front of you. Born and raised, but I've not spent all my time living here in Surrey. I was fortunate enough in my day to have middle schools. When I was in grade 10, my school went down to Mexico for 2 months. I was one of the 20 students that got chosen to go down. I thank my teacher that took these 20 students down, because 20, 15-year-olds, wow, that's quite a task to do. We took a bus down there, it took 2 weeks to get there. I don't ever want to travel by bus again. I remember sleeping under the seat, in the aisle, wherever I could try to find myself comfortable. But we managed to get there. With a couple of trips along the way, we got to go to Disneyland, we got to stop off in Mazatlan as well, and we headed down to Mexico City, and then an hour southwest of Mexico City to a town called Cuernavaca. Beautiful city called Cuernavaca, which means City of Eternal Spring. Every day is about 70, 75 degrees. Absolutely lovely. There we stayed for 2 months, and being Canadian girls, of course, we would meet Mexican boys. This is where I really picked up my Spanish. When I came back, I had been working in a restaurant, and I continued working in a restaurant, and I had made friends down in Mexico, so for 5 years, I actually worked in restaurants, continued my school years, grade 11 and 12 here at North Surrey, and went back and forth down to Mexico and stayed with the family that I had met there. It's been wonderful. I consider them my blood family, actually, not just friends or people that I met that many years ago. I still have a long-standing relationship with them. Coming back when I was about 19 years old, though, I did think I should be doing something else with my life than just waitressing. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I thought, what could I ever do if I ever did get married? And if I ever traveled, if I didn't get married, what could I do that I could do in any country where I might not have to have a language? And hairdressing had popped to mind. So I went to School of Cosmetology in Burnaby, and at that time it was a year and a half, and it served me very well. A few years later, I did meet somebody, another fellow from Surrey actually, and we did move to Vernon, to the Okanagan. He played baseball and he curled, and I thought, this is fabulous. A fellow that has other activities besides going to the bar and drinking. We became very involved in sports and curling, to which we still do. We did move back, though, in '86 because the economy had dropped. So we moved back here in 1986, which was Expo. I decided I needed to get a job, was a little tired of hairdressing, so I went back to my restaurant work and got a job on a floating cruise ship as the head bartender. Well, now I needed to take a bartending class. So I took the bartending class, and that took us for another 6 months during 1986. We decided then to get married, build a house, and during this time, my sister, who's special needs, we built the house with a suite for her, as my mom was quite ill with cancer, and she did pass away at a very untimely age of 64 years old. We tried to have a family. It wasn't happening for us. So we decided to set our path on a different route. We bought a motorhome and thought, well, we will start our traveling times early, and we will be the cool aunt and uncle with our 10 nieces and nephews, be able to tell great stories, and we'll get all our traveling in while we were married. After buying a motorhome that we could not afford, 4 months later, I found myself pregnant.
Oh.
And he is now 20 years old.
Wow.
So we were blessed with a child. And I did set up my hair salon, which I'm still doing. 6 years went by, and I thought, as I was turning 40, we're blessed with one child. Many things you can do with one, not with many more. So I thought, at 40, what kind of a gift do I want? I bought myself a little motorcycle. I thought, that's pretty cool, a scooter motorcycle that I can put on the back of the motorhome when we decide to travel. And I rode my son to school. I was very tired at the time. Found myself going to the doctor, which he said, well, no wonder you're tired, you're pregnant. What? So at 41, I had my second child. I stopped buying vehicles because I figured and that child is now turning 14. Staying involved with sports, having the kids, which I was not done with. I did not have sports in my life when I was a child, but when I did meet my husband. Getting our kids involved in the baseball has been wonderful. So years later, I found myself with an opportunity to run the concession at Wally Ballpark, which I've done for 3 years. I was managing, my oldest son was cooking, while our 14-year-old was playing ball, and my husband coaching. How better can it get? All of us together, still doing things together. I still have the scooter, by the way, which is a great way to embarrass your children. I still always love crisp days, but we do need rain in between to spark new growth for opportunities waiting for us. Enjoy each season as it comes. Thank you, and back to you, Mr. Woo!
Thank you, yes. Contraception, stop buying vehicles. Nice. And family, that's so important. I love that. You decided on something, all right. You just accepted what was happening, and then look what came to you. And you also accepted that, obviously, and happily. You did a good job, it sounds like.
What do you drive now?
On van. That would have been a good question. take the bus? I don't know. On to our next speaker. We have doing communication manual project number 9, Persuade with Power. Persuade listeners to adopt a viewpoint or ideas or to take some action. Appeal to the audience's interest. Use logic and emotion to support the position. Avoid using notes. The title. The title. We'll pretend we don't see that. The title to Paul's speech is Power of Focus. Help me welcome Paul.
Madam Chair, fellow Toastmaster, and Mr. Guest.
Timer guess.
So power focus. Does it work for you? I'm here to say it works 100% of the time. But it just depends what you're focusing on. The results are always 100%. It's like, anybody use a video camera to your goals? Right? So if we're trying to do too many things, juggling too many things, we're not laser focused on what we want to create. And then we go, but it doesn't work for me. It works for everybody else, right? It works 100% of the time. So your focus creates your life. Sometimes it's not the life you want, but it connects back to a major law. One of the 7 laws of the universe is called cause and effect. Cause is the lack of focus. The result will be what you said you wanted to create. And my daughter Ashley was 13, and she's into Pony Club, and she goes to all these events all the time. And one day, she says, there's an event coming up. I says, honey, why do you go to these events? To have fun, Dad. I go, okay. Would you have more fun if you won? Well, of course. Then why don't you win? Well, I never thought of it. So I says, I had her focus on what the end result was going to be, that she was going to walk through on Sunday with the championship blanket for the highest points around her neck when she walked through the house. So she closed her eyes and she can see herself. All of a sudden she starts smiling when she's actually focusing on what she wants to create. So the next day, we did this 2 days in a row. Saturday the event started. And I was at work, so I called her about 2 o'clock. I says, honey, I just heard on CKNW, for you guys that's an old radio station. And I said, Ashley Sahota got perfect scores. She goes, Dad, it's only 3 rounds. And she got perfect scores in all 3 rounds. And so she goes on, now there's another couple, they're nip and tuck for this high championship. So at the end of Sunday, so I get home and she walks in, she got this blanket wrapped around her. Because she had no doubt it was going to happen, right? So the other girl, she was focusing to win too, but she had doubt that she wasn't going to win. Both results are 100%. So where else in our life so what's your vision? When we don't have a clear vision, we don't get what we want. It's like, anybody got a motorcycle? Well. So when you take a motorcycle license, where do they tell you to focus? Where you are or where you're supposed to end up? Right? So they always want you to focus where you're supposed to be, because even if it's a curve coming through, you want to focus where you end up because you actually naturally glide into it. Same as driving a car. Your dreams are no different. Focus on what the end result's going to be, but not all the potholes of life that gets in our way. If you watch people in our society that walk with their head down, what they do, they fall in potholes. They fall in all the obstacles. Well, the kids are happening this, or this happening over here. They get some money comes in, all of a sudden the fridge fails because they don't believe they deserve to have money. Okay? Whatever they're focusing on, it will come to reality. So if you don't like your results, change your focus to what you want to create. So if you look at sometimes if we don't get what we want, what do we have usually? Excuses, right? All the good reasons why we didn't get what we want. Everybody use those? Too busy, right? Or this happened. Well, my client didn't show up, right? Why they didn't show up? Because you weren't committed to actually having them show up. 100% commitment, laser focus always creates the client to come, and you realize either if you're focused, you can have your dreams. If you're not, you can have your excuses why you didn't get them. So it always comes down to, what do I really want? And at the end of the day, you're capable of having anything you want. Anything. And the best way to do that is to, how do you start visualizing what you really want? Having that focus on your vision. My recommendation would be, is to, every night before you go to bed, sit down, count backwards from 100 to 1. What that'll do, it'll get your left brain, which is your physical level, to calm down, because that's our monkey mind. Okay? And once it's done that, once the left brain calms down, the right hemisphere brain will start actually getting more active, and that's the genius side of you. So that's where all your dreams live. That's all your passion, everything lives on that side. And once they start doing, there'll be a meshing happening. Once it's happened, that's where magic occurs. So if you actually focused on, let's say, what you want to create tomorrow, so you already got that picture in your mind how it's supposed to be. And then after you've done that, then you want to look at it as, who's with you sharing that experience? Then you bring your senses into it. You know, the taste, the smell, the touch, who's around you, who's celebrating your wins with you. Because once you've created that, and then all of a sudden your mind goes, holy smokes, they've already experienced it. So then actually it'll come to reality, to what's possible. So back to, so the thing, what you want to look at is, what am I focusing on? Focus will work 100% of the time. So be cautious of what my results are going to be. So are you focusing on your dreams, or are you focusing on your excuses why you're not getting the dream?
Continue that dance on. Wow. Definitely, if we all have a dominant emotion, or like in Inside Out, if any of you had seen it, they're all little characters playing the different parts. Paul would definitely have a teacher in there. He's always teaching us something. And just like Inside Out, the idea is to show, as Paul was saying, is that we often believe that the outside is giving us our inside experience, but really we have way more control by paying attention to and focusing on what's happening inside, so we can have what we want on the outside. Next, we get to move to our evaluations. So outside of the topic and the information that we get to learn and hear about, we also want to find out how we spoke, which is the big part of what we're doing here. What can we do better? And Simone is here to evaluate Karen. Please come up, Simone.
Fellow Toastmasters, Madam Chair, esteemed guests, thank you very much. So I have the privilege of evaluating Karen with her very first speech, her icebreaker speech. And I wanted to say I really enjoyed this speech. I got to learn more about Karen. I got to hear about some cool, interesting events from her life. She used humor. She used the word of the day, exude. She exuded enthusiasm for her topic, enthusiasm for her life that she shared with us. Karen exudes also a warmth and a friendliness, which I really appreciated. I think it comes through in our speech when we have that on the inside. It just comes out. I saw her do many things really well up here. I saw her have a really good stance, her body posture, her alignment to the audience. I thought she was very strong and grounded. I saw her use her hands very well. Her gestures were strong and clear and emphasized her points. She told her story in a lively, enthusiastic way with lots of facts, events, details. Her voice was clear and audible. We could all hear her, and she commanded the space very well. She was organized, well put together. For an icebreaker, I thought that was amazing. She was working with the time. She had her notes. They were very well prepared. They were typed out. They were right here with her, just a very easy reference, but she hardly used them. And she just sort of came back when she needed to. I thought it was all really well done, really well done. Any comments for improvement? I'd say no. The fact of showing up is huge. 80% of success, we show up, we learn every time. So thanks very much. That's all I have.
Well done, Simone. Very good. I feel like you've tamed some of the characters inside. Inside you did. You were very grounded yourself. Now to evaluate Paul, help me welcome Sua.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I know I'm exuding something, but hopefully it's confidence and not that.
Very nice.
Let's set this aside. So who agree with me that what you focus on will grow? Has Paul laid out a good idea of why you should do it? Was he persuasive in doing that? I think overall he did a very good job of persuading people. He captivates the audience, which I always love, and that's the reason why I probably forgot to record his video. I was like, wow, good questions, and I'm trying to follow along. His hand gestures is very good. He's always got a stage presence, which I like. He uses a perfect opening with hand open palm so that you can be more supportive of what he's trying to convey. He does exude confidence. And on his speech and on his area expertise, he's good with that. However, point of improvement for Paul would be, don't try to juggle too much between this back and forth. Use the stage more effectively. Cause, effect. And I believe that story with his daughter and the other girl at the beginning, oh my God, he could have milked the hell out of that one. He says, the other girl, guess what goes through her mind? He could have asked more engaging questions. Guess what goes through the other girl that wants to win? What do you think they're thinking? Were they thinking like this? Or, my daughter, guess what she's thinking? Guess what she's doing? Through her mind, as she plays. And then at the end, guess what happens? Would you rather focus on everything, or would you rather be focused on one thing? So I would say, I recommend in the future, Paul uses more specific rather than having too many questions continuously, because I'm trying to catch up and trying to answer the question he just asked me, and he's jumped on to the next question already. I'm going, whoa, hold on, give me a minute. Great questions, however, but if you keep a simplified, if you make a very complicated topic simple to understand, you can win the audience over much better that way. But overall,
I think it's always been there, but I haven't actually realised until I was about a teenager. And then here and now again, it sort of comes through. I was doing yoga last week, 2 weeks ago, and the instructor during the session says, Manny, can you do this and can you do this pose? Afterwards, I questioned, what was her name, Denise I think it was, how did you remember my name? And she said, from Manny. Man, you're a man. And I, from Manny, for your eyes, your green eyes. And it's the thing that always, I think, catches people. And I was walking down the shopping mall just there, and I could see, because I was just in the sun, and I'm not trying to be sort of egotistic or anything, but the eyes were shining. And once in a while, and I always found this with the females, and even with guys sometimes as well, but I never actually used it to my advantage till I realised when I can actually use it to my advantage. And that's, I would say, for instance, for myself, it's the eyes. I do try once in a while, give some winks here and there, and so that's me. That's all I have for you today.
Question number 2. Listen carefully. What is your passion, and when did you discover it? And what do you do to pursue this passion? Nima? Nima? Sorry.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Table Topics Master, respected chair, fellow Toastmaster, and distinguished guest. The topic is, what is my passion, when I discovered it, and did I pursue it? My all-time passion is dancing. I found that I'm so much interested in dancing when I was during my college days. When I danced, the whole college would come and stand just to see my dance. Even the people working in the canteen, they would come and tell, oh my God, we waited just for your dance. when I realized I have to pursue my dancing career, one of my friends recently called me and asked me, "How are you?" I said, "I'm good." The second question she asked was, "Do you still dance?" That's when I realized that during my course of my life, I forgot my passion. Now, I told my husband that I need to dance is my passion and I need to go there. Last week, I joined my dance class, and I'm hoping my first performance will be next year. So, yeah, thank you.
What's that?
Okay, we have more questions. We have question number 3.
Well, we're a bit late, but let's.
Can we
are
do
we all
one?
okay? Yeah, let's do one more.
Okay.
You're spoken for.
Okay, which world leader do you admire and why? Sua?
Which world leader do I admire and why? Wow, that's a tough one. They're all in the news lately, of course, all of them. Ours, the American, and the Russian. I would say, besides communist, democratic, and all that stuff, I say the Russian president I admire today. Reason being is, pretty much, it's not, put the political stuff aside. When I came to Canada, I came to be a Canadian. I didn't come here to be a Muslim or a Buddhist or whatever. I came to Canada to be a Canadian. And the Russian government states that anybody who wants to come to Russia becomes a Russian. Don't bring your religion with you. We don't ask you to join our religion. Just come here and be a Russian. And that's what I think the world should look at today. And wherever you want to go to that country, why you want to be part of that country, be part of that resident of that country. Don't bring your baggage with you or whatever, anything else you want to bring with you. So that's all I got to say. So I respect the president of Russia. Back to you.
I think we're out of time, so that concludes the table topics. Thank you for all your participation. Thank you so much. And back to Liz, Madame Toastmaster.
Thank you very much.
Do we have it, by the way?
Yes, Paul stepped up. I thought I could give it to you, but Paul's already said okay. So now to get our oh my gosh, my inside up. I need to breathe. To evaluate the table topics. Speakers, Paul, please come up.
Madam Chair, fellow Toastmasters, and honorable guests. Table topics is such a, we haven't done it too often, it's such a nerve-wracking thing, but it's such a beneficial thing you can use in your life on a daily basis. We never know when we get to do somebody asks you to introduce them at a meeting, a board meeting, or the boss asks you some question right away, you get to be able to think on your feet. And people today, 3 of them, Manny, when he got up, he had confidence, and he's always got confidence. He's got that, his gift he used, but he didn't share that gift till the end with us. And I'm thinking, well, what's the gift he's going to talk about, right? So one of my things was to share that right out front, and his eyes are an attraction, right? So that's a part is I wouldn't tell you he's Indian, right? And because even we've talked to Canadian, Indo, right? But he's got a better tan than some of us, but. But the confidence he has, but he's always got stage presence too. And my one thing for you would be to actually move this aside, because you only use about this of it, then you start carrying it over. Okay, so that part was great, and I can't wait for you to join, so it'll be sooner than later. All right. When she came up, it's like she's got a little angel voice, right? And she starts out small, and all of a sudden, when the dancing, we started talking about dancing, and she had a grin on her face, that smile. So my dear, dance like nobody's watching on a daily basis, right? Because when you had that, because a lot of people don't have passion to live by, and it's such a gift to share that with the world, right? And then you're a role model for your kids to go after what their passion is, and that's awesome. The way you did that, and And then you took kind of over the stage too, and you stepped into it. That was great. And just get the obstacles out of the way and step into your power. So I can't wait for you actually for your next speech when you do that also. Mr. Sua, he's always got stage present. He moved the obstacle out of the way, and it's such a tough subject, you know, politics, right? And he handled it well. And the biggest thing was he actually spoke what he was speaking. He made eye contact. He used the stage. Well, I think it was amazing. Great job, guys. So back to you, Madam Chair.
Speaking on the spot, this is what I've learned. It does help. I had to start with fake it till you make it. I look like I'm confident. That's what I did with my first table topics. Everybody said, oh, you look so confident. That wasn't what was going on the inside. Let's get to the roles so we can see how we did with the different aspects of the meeting. Let's start with Nima and the counter. Please stand up and let us know how we did.
Good afternoon, Chair, respected fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. During the speech, Karen, you've used 5 us and 1 Paul used 3 us, and Simon used 3 us. Amit 5 us and 1 Mani also 5 us and 1 Liz, I think you've covered almost the whole time, so you used 4 us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And next, April, how did we do with our grammar and our word of the day?
Fellow Toastmasters and Mr. Guest, everyone used the word exude quite a few times. So Liz used it once, Karen once, Simone twice, Sua once, Amit twice, and April no. In terms of awkward usage of language, there was none. So for Paul, I kind of catch him saying sometimes I says. Perhaps I think it's I say, but perhaps it's kind of your kind of personality, but perhaps saying I say versus I says. And for Karen, I really like what she said about I stopped buying vehicles, I figured, and then she stopped from there. It was like a foreshadowing, a setup. We knew what was going to happen.
Yes.
And then she said, I still have a scooter, which is a great way to embarrass your children. And Simone, excellent use of exude. You said exude warmth. And Sua, he said this, could have milked the hell out of that. That was really funny. And you know, the word milk just gives you a very, very vivid image. And he said inquisitive questions. That was good. Manny used the word egotistic, which was, you know, very appropriate for this section. And Nima, I forgot to mention that she mentioned when I was in my college days, perhaps when I was in my college days. And Paul used a lot of creative language. I'm here to tell you it works 100% of the time. Usually you don't expect that. You expect 90%, 80%, 99.99%. He says, he's also a master of comparison. He uses simile a lot, like car, the motorcycle, and focus. And he used a colloquialism, so holy smokes. So that's okay if you understood that, but what if there was a person that was English speaking? Okay, I'm sorry. And then other than that, last one, get the obstacles out of the way and step into your power. Thank you.
Well done. I love when someone takes on the grammarian role and just gives it their all and really listens. And that's the other part of not learning, not just how to speak and be up here on the stage, but also how to listen and catch things. And yes. Oh, gosh. And our guest who stepped up to be the timer, Manny, how did we do today?
I think we're about 10 minutes behind still, but not too bad. Okay, I tried to fake it, but I think I made it, but I'm not sure. So the times I have, for the ones I did time.
Protocol, which I like. Hand up people by allowing, you did that. That's a very good job, actually. I learned that actually at the Toastmasters this weekend. And using that support, that's awesome. That's a trick that I learned too. It's very good. But you do need to hold the stage. And you need to wait till they go and come back. And if they don't, just like I do, have to wait for you, right? Aside from that, I love it. You're very cheerful. You do an awesome job. Tip topic. Look forward for next one as well. Evaluation over. Did a great job. And Liz, as always, I love when she chairs this place. Everything just rocks and rolls in there. Back to you, Madam Chair.
So fluffy. Thank you, Sue. That concludes all of the roles for today. Do we have any club business or anything we need to discuss? Nothing? Alrighty. Sure.
I visited a club the other week, and they had a very nice setup for the guests. Like, you know how we talked about guest brochures and everything? So Sue sent some, but then I saw these ones which are really great, because these are Toastmasters brochures.
Yeah.
So this is great branding.
Branding, yeah.
And Simone also wanted to mention, I casually mentioned to her about the D3i PR, and she volunteered to do some research on it.
Oh.
She's interested in PR, so just not everyone.
That's awesome.
Great.
Step up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get it free online as well. Each one of us.
And also with the roles, Sue has been emailing them out. I don't know if that's necessarily your job, but he always steps up.
No, but I
on
figure
his-
someone has to step up.
But all of the roles are in, is it the,
Easy speak.
no, well, they are in Easy Speak, but it's also in this, either the leadership or the communication.
Communication.
The CC, yeah. All of the roles are in there if you want to brush up. And then even more information, examples and things are on Easy Speak.
Exactly. It's in the
So,
back.
as the promise, it's being prepared and coming, knowing that you're important. Every role, that's,
Treat
yeah, treat it as important because it is.
Yes.
And it's what you give it. You'll get out what you give, basically. I would like to hand this back to our Sergeant of Arms, or our interim, I guess he's full-on Sergeant of Arms.
That's what we learned. That's how he won the world class. We missed you, all you guys.
Oh, yeah. Talk about it, please.
Well, the world champion Toastmaster was there speaking. How he got to where he won the 2014 World Championship. What a speaker! And one thing he said was when he shook, he learned to. That was the little extra he did. And amazing speaker.
What about it?
When you shake people's hand, you support them.
That's, it feels weird though. Why is that so?
Thank you.
Such a good thing.
It does.
Because he says
Maybe it's a
so.
guy thing. Oh, because he's
Because he
okay,
says so.
thanks. Oh, I like when someone clarifies.
Some cultures you don't shake hands.
Yeah.
So
And for me, I do. It's more of a. I'm sorry, Corinne,
Yeah, no,
for taking
please.
over, but it like that. Extra.
Yeah, Japanese and stuff.
Yeah.
Even eye contact, that's what
But we learned a lot. It was a really good experience. The next one's at the fall conference.
Highly recommend
Highly recommend.
everybody to go. Highly.
Where's that?
Where will it be?
Even Abbotsford.
Abbotsford.
Yeah, right off the Mount Lehman exit. So,
Excellent.
Get your
Yeah.
passports
It's
ready.
close, yeah. April and I.
You gonna go be?
yeah. No, we can pull. We can carpool, so it's not a problem.
Or the scooter. I don't know.
We can carpool.
One thing he said that stuck with me and it's playing in my head is, he said, put yourself in a position where you have no options.
Mhm.
And that's how you're going to grow. Where you don't have the option to just no option to pull back,
To get out of it.
to get out of it. Whatever that is, and no options. And that's how he got to World Championship, is he put himself in that situation.
Well, that was an option.
What are you drinking? I've been eyeing that thing since I got here. I mean, looks like a red bean.
You should not know what this is.
Oh my.
Because it makes you look great, whatever it is.
She's becoming, she's blossoming as a great speaker and everything, so maybe we should all start doing it.
I'd like to have some of
Does that help
that.
with hair growth?
I do.
Change with hair color.
Thanks for your hair color.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sharon.
I recognize, sorry to interrupt, that I recognize that I didn't, because you just seem like you're a part of the group, I forgot that you're a guest. So I would love to hear if you want to ask or
Comments
just get your comments.
from Mandy.
Yeah. What was the
I love
meeting?
I love the the comedy aspects of this particular club. My previous one was in the evenings in Cloverdale. It was so serious. We were there for 2 hours, and I can't sit still, which is why when I get up, you're all bouncy and stuff. But I love this sort of like what I've been promoting to everybody is this sort of speed. It's like speed dating, but it's speed Toastmasters. 60 minutes. You do everything in an hour. We used to do 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Gets it done.
I don't love the location. It's great.
Yes, thank you.
And the people.
We love you too, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's
You-
okay.
you-
That's
You
This is a
definitely,
handshake.
yeah, no, don't be doing that weird, no.
His
You do-
handshake's like this.
No, it's not like that.
I'd like to close the meeting.
Time's up.
Thanks, everyone.
Closing the
Thank you.
meeting.
So who's chairing next
Don't
week?
use
You not got one?
Sharing?
No, who's chairing?
Do you have one of those, Gary?
We-
Yeah, it's in